All right, y'all, welcome back to Combat Arms channel. All right, so today we're checking out a virtual reality trainer from the German army. I gotta say, it looks pretty freaking cool, and it looks a lot better than stuff that we have in the US military, at least stuff that I've used. We have like the EST, which is like a sort of virtual marksmanship trainer, but that just uses like a gas pistol basically to sort of train you on that. And then we also have sort of computer simulations, but it's pretty much like playing Arma, you know, on the computer. It's not actual like virtual reality. There's no headset involved. So this looks like a whole nother level, and I think you guys will enjoy it. So let's check it out.
Nein, ihr seht hier kein Computerspiel. Ihr seht Feldjäger,
So cool.
die einen virtuellen Handlungstrainer für die Bundeswehr erproben. Der Spezialistentrupp befindet sich nicht auf einem Hausdach, sondern in sicherer Umgebung. Bei der Wehr
Okay, so let's check out the actual room that they're in. So looks like, I mean, they're wearing their kits. It looks like, you know, pretty realistic kit at least. They have sort of rifles, and then I don't know what's going on down here. It might just be their logo. But yeah, they have like actual obstacles and stuff, which is pretty freaking cool. And even like, I gotta say, the graphics, I mean, they don't need to be like that great for virtual reality, to be honest, but they look pretty freaking solid as far as like,
Spezialistentrupp befindet sich nicht auf einem Hausdach,
the environment
sondern
is
in
pretty
sicherer
detailed.
Umgebung. Bei der Wehrtechnischen Dienststelle 91 in Meppen wird das Virtual Reality System getestet. Auf einer 200 Quadratmeter großen Fläche können bis zu 4 Soldaten gleichzeitig in jedes denkbare
It's really like cool to actually see them, like to not actually see the screen itself, because it looks like they're pretty freaking immersed. Like they're moving as if they were actually in an enclosure. And it is nice because, you know, you have these weapons, they're not like attached to any tubes or anything. And you also have other people in there with you. So you can get a good appreciation and sort of feeling for working in a stack or working in a team with each other.
Soldaten gleichzeitig in jedes denkbare Szenario eintauchen. So können Situationen trainiert werden, die zum Beispiel aus Sicherheitsgründen ansonsten nicht darstellbar wären.
Off.
Sie langsam die Hände hoch. Sie sollen die Hände hochnehmen.
What is she
Hören
doing?
Sie zu, wir tun Ihnen nichts. Kommen Sie zu uns, dann kommen Sie hier heile raus.
Hier befinden sich die Feldjäger in einem
Oh, it's so cool. I mean, I'm sure they're showing us like the non-buggy parts. I'm sure it can get buggy at some point. But you got to think, this is pretty much all you need to really get immersed into the training. You know, a pretty believable environment. Nothing too crazy. I mean, it's got enough detail to make it believable as well. And you have weapons, or you know, they're not attached to any tubes as far as I can see. You don't have too much extra stuff, so you could probably wear like relatively normal gear. So you get a good feeling for everything. Of course, you're not going to be like bumping into the walls per se. But I mean, it is nice to just have this environment because, yeah, that's all you really need to make it believable.
Hier befinden sich die Feldjäger in einem Haus, in dem sich bewaffnete Feindkräfte
That's so
verstecken.
cool.
Tango down, Tango.
Yes, let's watch that again. That's pretty cool. Yeah, dude, like you're on this and you're not watching the other danger areas, this kind of stuff can happen. And it's kind of cool. I wonder if you're like how they had the overhead view, if they can quickly spawn in an enemy in this part just to kind of do some lessons learned. Like you need to be able to cover down in every danger area. Because this dude, yeah.
Ein Leutnant aus dem Übungszentrum der Feldjäger arbeitet schon länger an der Erprobung des Systems mit.
Wie fühlt sich das an?
Super. Also ich habe da wirklich Spaß dran,
So cool.
ja, weil ich Sachen machen kann, die ich in meiner ganzen Dienstzeit so nicht direkt umsetzen kann oder einen sehr großen Aufwand dafür betreiben muss, um das umzusetzen.
Die Soldaten
Can the German army grow facial hair? I'm not sure if I've ever really looked for that before. I mean, I know there are a lot of militaries that will allow you to do so, but yeah, I don't know. Let me know if you guys know down in the comment section.
tragen Virtual Reality Brillen, um sich von der Außenwelt abzuschirmen. Darüber
Shield them
hinaus
from
sind
the outside
Körper,
world.
Pistole und Gewehr mit Trackern versehen und werden durch 96 Kameras jederzeit exakt im Raum lokalisiert. 7 Computer transportieren das alles in die virtuelle Umgebung.
Holy cow. That looks intense. And
Um diese
expensive.
für die Soldaten nicht nur sichtbar, sondern körperlich erlebbar zu machen, tragen die Soldaten Haptikwesten.
Oh, no
Wird ihr
kidding.
Avatar
That's
in der
sweet.
virtuellen Welt getroffen, wird das durch Vibration körperlich spürbar.
Yeah, and that's awesome as well, because like I think the best training you can do in most sort of circumstances would be simunitions, because you have your own kits, you have weapons, you can actually go against an opposing force. The only thing that kind of takes you out of it is, you know, you might have to wear a mask, but that's not really too bad. You don't really need to wear it either, to be honest. But this, you know, having that haptic vest is awesome because, again, you really get that stimulus. If you mess up, it's going to give you, you know, that feedback. And I think that's pretty important for certain situations, especially if you're doing like sort of CQB. You know, if you're the first man or the one man and you're constantly going in and getting hit, you know, as far as just like flowing right into the room, then you're probably going to try and take it a different way or take it a little bit slower so you can avoid that in the future. I like that.
Tango down, Tango down.
Und die weiter die Immersion zu steigern, sind aber auch Geruchswiedergabe möglich. Wir haben aber auch die Möglichkeit, Wind zu simulieren. Weiterhin haben wir auf der anderen Seite auch eine Wärmequelle angebracht. So
Dude, this thing must have cost like, I don't know, like 50 million or something. It looks, I don't know, it looks super expensive. But it's a great training tool, so I think it's worth it.
so dass der Soldat möglichst intensiv in der virtuellen Welt sich wiederfindet.
Der virtuelle Handlungstrainer hat viele Vorteile. Mit dem Grundriss eines Gebäudes können etwa Personenschützer einen Einsatzort schon vorab virtuell begehen.
What's going on here? She's just showing here and he's like, yeah, let me just check out this laptop while there's just random dog chilling in the corner.
Einsatzort schon vorab virtuell begehen.
Okay, Raum 2.
Hier erstmal die Ecke.
Zudem spart der Einsatz der virtuellen Zivilisten und Gegner Personal. Auch die Zeit ist ein Faktor.
In einer Sekunde bin ich in einem Raum, in einer anderen Sekunde bin ich auf einem Dach. Alleine die Zeit, die ich bräuchte, um von dem Raum zum Dach zu gehen, ja, das habe ich halt nicht mehr. Das heißt also, da habe ich auch einen unglaublichen Mehrwert.
2023.
I kind of wonder, and this would be cool as well, if you could have like a little separate area for the OP4 and they can just kind of decide which room they want to spawn in. So you have a more believable sort of threat, somebody that's like pretty capable, as opposed to, you know, just a bot that's kind of just there and it's not really hitting you very much. So I think that would be interesting. I'm not sure if that's a possibility with this system.
Das System so weit erprobt sein, dass die Truppe eine Beschaffungsinitiative starten kann. Vorher müssen aber noch einige Kritikpunkte angegangen werden.
Okay.
Wichtige Handlungsabläufe, wie etwa der Check von Waffe und Munition, müssen auch im virtuellen Handlungstrainer funktionieren.
Okay,
Es hilft mir
that's
nichts,
a good
Sachen
point.
abzutrainieren, die ich vielleicht schon trainiert habe. Das heißt also, habe ich gefeuert, werde ich meine Waffe kontrollieren. Wenn ich meine Waffe nicht kontrollieren kann, trainiere ich mir was ab. Wenn ich jetzt auch wirklich getroffen worden bin, was ja mit der Weste zu fühlen ist, muss ich nachher aber gucken, habe ich denn irgendwo Blut? Das sind eigentlich noch die größten Sachen, wo ich sage, das fehlt jetzt noch.
Okay, very
Soldaten
good
aus
points.
der Truppe und das Team der WTD 91 arbeiten eng zusammen, beseitigen Schwächen und bauen Stärken aus, um so den virtuellen Handlungstrainer reif für die Beschaffung zu machen.
So cool, man.
Können weiter?
Those VR goggles look intense, and the sensors they have. Man, but those vests are so cool. I mean, you know, it's not the same as having like your actual issued vest on, but I think it's definitely worth it, especially for the haptic feedback on it. Yeah, so again, like you have, and it's not too many like sensors to the point where it's like annoying. It looks like it has even less sensors than stuff like Miles gear when you're doing the force on force with blanks and whatnots. Yeah, again, it looks so cool. And for them to have like all these computer setups and people like, especially with the overhead, I kind of want to watch that again. If you can have somebody that is sort of watching it real time, they can give you feedback as far as, you know, maybe you guys were separated too much, or, you know, if there's a doorway here, you guys left the danger area open and you kind of expose your backs to it. You have somebody that can track all of that and, you know, make notes or what have you. And then I'm sure they record it also as well, so they can kind of like just show it after the fact. It looks like door kickers right now. Yeah, it's so cool. I gotta say, I'm really, really excited to see this kind of stuff in the future. And as you guys can probably well imagine, as technology and especially video games advance, that will also roll over into the military side, which is, again, it's really exciting to sort of see those upgrades. Again, when I got in 2012, I think the best thing we had was the EST, which is pretty much, again, like the gas pistols or the gas machine guns and rifles. Not totally believable and a little bit finicky sometimes, but I have seen some pretty advanced trainers. Not necessarily this advanced. This seems like on a whole nother level. It looks like they have like normal guys going through it too. I don't know if this is like more specifically tailored to like special forces, because they usually have, you know, better equipment or better training tools. But they might also just do simunition because they had money for that as well. Yeah, I kind of wonder how this compares as far as the cost for other, training, as far as like blank firing using the Miles gear or simunition training. I wonder what the kind of cost comparisons would be. But again, it is very realistic. And to move into an environment that you can change up, sort of with a different computer program is very, very exciting stuff. You can have a bunch of different environments. You could have even woodland environments. You can have a ship, even like maybe some sort of like maritime sort of simulation if they can get like a sort of raft set up. And that's the perks of a sort of video game or a virtual reality simulation thing like this, because you can change it up very easily and you could always add stuff to it. So, your limitations really aren't that much besides the actual space and how realistic you can actually get it. But that's always stuff that you can fine tune. And again, as technology advances, we're going to see that getting a little bit more realistic. But yeah, I want to know if there's any other cool virtual trainers that y'all have that you're aware of. And if you have any videos especially, let me know. I know we've checked out a sort of advanced trainer from the British Army. It was cool. It was actually like, an environment that you would actually go into, like a shoot house you would actually go into. This is very different. I think this stuff is a little bit more exciting. I'm all about shoot houses and whatnot, but again, the possibilities with this they're endless. You can't really take a shoot house and then transform that into a ship to the point where you can actually like simulate that environment as much, because obviously you're going to have to just completely change up the walls, change up the scenario, and a whole lot more. So I think this is very cool. And again, very exciting to see how all these advances are actually going into the military. But let me know what you guys think. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this one. It was super, super cool to check out. And I think it'd be cool if just video games in general sort of go to this direction. I think it'll be kind of hard. I don't know many developers that will try and tackle this. I mean, it's like if like the metaverse, like Facebook's, or Meta's new thing, if they try and take the metaverse and then combine it with like stuff like VR chats, but also Call of Duty and Battlefield, it's a hard thing to combine those sort of elements and actually get it right and get it believable. But I think we will see some video games in the future that try and tackle that and get pretty successful with it. And then I'm sure we'll see some sort of iteration like that moving into the military, like we see with ARMA actually being utilized for military training. But very cool. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. That is it for this one. I will see y'all in the next one.